Welcome back to 24 Hours on Our Streets. In this fourth episode, Into the Dark, we will reflect on some of the darker aspects of homelessness through stories and statistics. We will also sit down with one of my absolute favorite people in the Kamloops harm reduction community, the beautiful and legendary Dolly. A street mom to many, with 17 years of sobriety under her belt, she walks the streets in the morning, providing human connection and a link to resources. I am so lucky to share her story today.
My name is Dolly and I'm 70 years old. I was in addiction for 40 years. Did a few years in jail. But when I came to Kamloops, I was 53 and I was in such bad shape, really bad shape. And at that time, I was living under a tree, right down close to where the mustard seed is now. And I called it my little penthouse because it was on a hill, a little rise, and the tree was around me. So when the cops come flying in, they couldn't see me. They only saw the people that were down lower than me.
How long were you there for?
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for 2 years, yeah. And then I had been connecting with the women at TELUS Ruth. And that summer, it was June the 7th, I woke up and I was done. I knew it.
What was it that, like I remember before you were talking about like walking down the street and actually holding on to your heart.
Yeah.
What was it?
My soul. My soul. I actually felt I would walk like this because I was absolutely sure that my soul was going to fall out. Like I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I was sure of it. And I had some really horrible things happen to me in my addiction. Like stuff that's so bizarre, people don't even believe it, it's so bizarre. I was on the verge of dying. I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I didn't ever look at people because I knew they weren't looking at me. It's a scary place to be. It's not physically scary, but inside it's tremendously scary.
I interviewed another gal and she had talked about when you're out on the street, at first you think it's great because you can do whatever you want, you do whatever you want, but when you do that, you start to lose yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I was out there for many, many years. Like, so many years. 5 or 6 things that happened in a row that got me to sobriety. Like, it was so many things. It was great.
A little bit about sort of your role out in the community.
Oh, a lot of people call them clients. I call them my friends because we're a big family. Just because I'm sober now, I wasn't always. And maybe I won't always be sober, who knows, right? But these people are yeah, my family, and I love them. I love them all. And like, I don't ask a lot of questions. I don't, because I know I hated that. When people, you know, they wanted to hear my misery. I didn't want to talk about that. So I don't ask them stuff. I just let them know that, hey, if there's any information they need, I can get it. It's so cool.
Well, they trust you.
Yeah,
right?
they do because they know I've been where they've been. Yeah.
What does it mean to someone to not have a home of their own to go to at the end of a long day?
Well, your day doesn't end. You don't have a home. Your time is run one day into the next. And we wake up daily and wonder, well, what day is it today? Like, is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? It could be Friday. It could be Sunday. You don't know. You don't have a home to go to. You don't have that end of your day. Your day just rolls into the next.
It's like one long day.
Oh, it's one long day. Like, totally. Like I said, it's only like 11:30, going on to 12, and I'm bushed. Like, 'cause I start from early in the morning, moving everything we own, constantly around. And, you know, looking after somebody else. Also, they do the best they can, and I do the best I can. And we work together to try and get through a day. Difficult, very difficult.
When you think a person with disabilities in this province can make $1,500 from the ministry, $1,500, and they need $1,800 to move in somewhere a month. That's impossible.
Motels that are charging $1,700 a month, and that's no cooking facility, no way to stay properly alive, like to be able to cook a decent meal. You can't do it in a motel. You're stuck with your day-to-day hot dogs, whatever, all the small things. So your whole aspect of going shopping is a whole different chore altogether. Like, you got to figure, okay, well, I can't take this because I can't do anything with this. But in a home, I can stretch that out to 2 meals, but I can't take it with me and do anything with it because I have no place to put it.
Yeah, you can't have leftovers if you don't have a fridge or a way to reheat it, right?
Yeah.
People can't get healthy if they're living in poverty. Unfortunately, as I said, the persons with disability benefit it still falls grossly underneath the amount of a 1-bedroom market value apartment in this town.
Women, they're in a lot of danger being homeless. There's no safe place. Women that have guys with them, they're all right. But it's still a difficult chore.
Well, and sometimes the men that they choose to be with to stay safe, they're not necessarily always safe.
Not always the best.
It's just exactly opposite of everything that I've ever done. It's ugly. It's become so ugly. Like, my friend just died yesterday, and I'm just kind of going, oh well, like, people are dying so fast that it's just, oh well, another person, oh well, another person. Like, you don't even get a chance to grieve. And it's someone else. It's just terrible. This fentanyl is you don't want me getting started on that.
If people in the harm reduction community are having that feeling about these people passing away, like, does society even notice?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's something I'd really like to capture with this project, is just the value of all human life, regardless of appearances or circumstances. Like, everyone's life is so important.
Everybody is a human being. I know that a lot of homeless people make messes and fall asleep in the worst places, but they still are people. They have issues. Addiction is an illness. It's like alcohol is the worst addiction, and yet the country is okay with helping them. So why can't they help addicts? Humans are wired to want good things, right? And shooting heroin, and I'm here to tell you because I know what heroin was, is the best. So we are wired to get that. So when they make us stop, it's like we're fighting ourselves.
I think that's a big part of it too, right? Like, it's the addiction can become like it becomes like a comfort and a coping, and
Absolutely.
it is the thing that's helping you through your situation.
Yeah.
So how do you take that out and then improve your situation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like a double-edged sword.
Exactly. And because we're addicts, we're treated so poorly, so poorly.
But I want to touch on some of the things that women especially are experiencing out there at night. You know, what sort of things are going through your mind? What sort of things, you know, do you have to think about? What do you got to watch for? You know, those kind of things.
When I was out there, and I can't imagine that things have changed that much, women, they are humiliating themselves, like doing things for $10 and like, man, 50 years ago I didn't do anything for $10. Like, you know, it's, but this new drug, whatever this is just so bad that they have to do it. It's disgusting what this new stuff is. They call it fentanyl, but I don't even think there's fentanyl in it. I think it's benzos.
That's the deadly aspect of it, right?
Yes.
The benzo, because then like your
Addicted.
naloxone doesn't even touch that.
Yeah.
What does it do to you? What does it do to somebody having to do those things?
Oh, what it makes, for me, I can tell you personally what it did to me. It's a horrible, it's ruined my life.
Yeah, it's a trauma that stays.
Yeah, it doesn't ever go away. It's too bad.
It is, yeah.
And I mean, bad things have happened to me. Really bad things.
Then there's people that, again, have had trauma in their life. They perhaps come from intergenerational trauma. That happens a lot. Physical abuse, sexual abuse victims, medical trauma. A lot of our service people will either they've been prescribed the opiate for injury or come back and have so much post-traumatic stress that they just need to feel human or feel not the pain for just a minute, so they will take the opiates because it does do that. Like the substance does what it's intended to, right? It's just that with the trauma, you know, if it's not dealt with, if you're not able to process the trauma, then you just need, people will keep medicating, because, you know, like sometimes people have such trauma, you wonder, how are you still here? How are you alive? And yeah, they use that to survive. That's, we shouldn't be saying that because they did what they had to do to survive, that they're bad people. No, they're not. They're great people. They're some of the most empathetic people. Some of the biggest feelers come into my office, and like they might be in so much pain, but if they have one sandwich and the person next to them is hungry, they'll share it with them. And I see that again and again in this office. They could suffer a whole array of different things out there, and sometimes it happens, you know, like nightly. I mean, they don't have the lock behind them the simplest of defenses to keep themselves safe. So how are they going to go through therapy or what have you to get healthy when they can't even say they're going to be safe for the night? The trauma, the medical traumas they may have suffered, all of this pain that they've experienced in their life that's led to addiction. And 100% of the people that I've met that have substance use, addictions issues, have trauma in their background. It just is there. Stay out of that withdrawal, which is extremely, extremely painful. And so they're getting other forms of opiates. So perhaps they're getting what they, at that time, was possibly heroin, but now there's no heroin out there. It's all fentanyl. Fentanyl mixed with barbiturates, mixed with death. They've grown stronger, and so that means withdrawal from stronger is harder, which is why we need, like, we call it OAT therapy, opioid agonist therapy, which is a replacement towards the opiates. So it could be methadone, things like that, where people are able to take or they are given these medicines, and then they are able to function. They're able to get jobs. They're able to manage daily living. They're able to do a lot of things that they might not have been, that they wouldn't have been if they were spending their life looking for substances.
You want maybe young people that are, you know, they're setting out in a new journey of maybe being homeless, and they think this is great, you know, I can do whatever I want. What would you say to young
Please
people?
don't do that. It's that the life is so terrible. There's nothing, not one thing good about it. You know, if you think that you're gonna be Yahoo, I don't have to do anything that I don't want to, you got another thing coming. Because you're gonna do things that you absolutely never thought you would do. And I'm serious, like, it is not a game. Doing drugs is not a game. People are dying left, right, and center. So please, just don't. Just don't. It's got nothing but horror. Get people that needed stuff, I would get them the stuff they needed. And they used to have little pieces of paper, and they'd write their name and what they needed. So I would, when I first started my shift, I'd take the papers, go downstairs, get my little things put in bags and take them back up to them. Yeah, that was really important to me, because there was so many like girls that they just didn't get the stuff that they needed. And when I was out there, Regan made sure that I was the best dressed homeless person in Kamloops.
I remember you said that. It was your thing, like you could hang on to that, right? That you had your identity, because it was so important to you before.
Yes, it was. It really was. Oh.
Yeah.
This is about redemption. This is about the new Dolly, the one that lives in her own beautiful little apartment and has a little job. I'm so blessed. I'm just blessed.
Knowledge is the key. I find in a lot of instances, if people would stop and clear their mind of everything they've been told and start talking to people, be human, talk to people, find out what it's like, find out what they're going through, you might be able to change that one person's life.
Thank you so much for joining us and for taking the time to hear the stories of our beautiful participants. We hope they have been as meaningful and thought-provoking to you as they have been to us. I look forward to sharing our next episode with you.